What's up, listeners? I am Travesty.
And I'm the Freak Joe.
And welcome back to this freaky show. It is a weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. It's the same podcast that we utilize the 4 weeks we have of October to celebrate Halloween and everything that comes with it. The episode that you're listening to today is brought to you by ballwash.com. That's right. Folks, if you're just like me and you prefer your genitals to be clean, pristine, and smelling good, you want to find a product that does that for you. Ballwash.com is the best one-stop shop for all your testicular genital area needs. From shampoos, conditioners, body washes, some nut rubs. They got body scrubbers, some wipes. They got a lotion that you rub on and it kind of dries like a powder. I think they came out with some boxers. They got hand sanitizer because of COVID. So many goodies that you can kind of fill your cart with. And then when you go to check out, there's a little promo code box there, guys. And you can type in Freaknet. That's Freaknet. And that promo code will get you 15% off your entire order. That's right, everyone. Ballwash.com. From head to toe, from hole to pole, it will get that funk out of your junk.
Nice. This freaky show is also brought to you by Audible.com. If you need some scary stories to keep you up at night during this month of Halloween, head on over to audibletrial.com/freaknet to get a 30-day free trial plus a free credit towards your first audiobook purchase. If I may recommend something, I would recommend The Stand by Stephen King. It is one of his longest books. It's about 52 hours of listening on audio, but it is read so incredibly well and spine-chillingly told. It is a great story. They're getting ready to make a mini-series that'll be coming out, I believe, sometime next year. So if you want to get yourself ready for it and get yourself well-read and also well-frightened, head on over to audibletrial.com/freaknet right now and try it out.
Nice show.
There you go.
All right, guys, we are back. We do apologize from our end on a delay in a release of This Freaky Show episode throughout the month of October. A lot of big things, a lot of big changes happening in both our lives. Being that the Freak Joe was helping Cartoon Joe move into his new house, as well as me starting my new job, and with the new work schedule and everything, it's just really hard for us to get together and everything. But we are here, me and the Freak Joe. Not only are agreeing to not drop more things on the ground.
I hate those weird things I do now.
It's so crazy. But we're also going to release 2 episodes in this week to kind of make up for last week. So listen to this show, and then make sure you check out the show following this. They will fall within 2 weeks of each other, or within the same week of each other. But we wanted to make sure we give you guys the right amount of dues, I guess, towards Halloween that we feel that you need, because this freaky show, especially for 2020, is really important to us just because of the additional content we created for it, but as well as the shitstorm that this entire year has brought upon our society. So we feel that you guys need more kind of shit to enjoy. So I don't know a better way to say it. And the additional content I mentioned is the Freaky Cemetery tour that we did, that's now being released on our YouTube channel, Freaknet Studios. You just go to youtube.com, search Freaknet Studios. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and make sure you select notification all so you know when the videos do drop. We did 8 cemeteries, Freak Joe. We checked out several cemeteries throughout the Midway, Midwest, Illinois, Central area. I do believe as we are recording, there are currently 6 of the 8 videos that are available. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, we did check out Oxable Cemetery, Moon Point Cemetery, Lithuanian Liberty Cemetery, Blood Point Cemetery, Woodlawn Cemetery, and Mount Olivet Cemetery are all available right now on the YouTube page to check out. Next week, we'll be finishing off with the remaining 2 episodes, which I do believe will probably be the more popular ones because they are probably the more well-known, and that is Resurrection Cemetery and Bachelor's Grove. So, Joe, right? I'm gonna assume that you did have a chance within your busy schedule to maybe check out some of these videos. How do you feel about the videos released and everything, and what we have done here as part of this Freaky Show, Freakin Studios, and all of the above?
I've enjoyed them. It was fun to go out and shoot. I really like the music you've chosen for the intro and outro, and then the music that plays while we're just there, and it's fantastic. It's really good. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like when we were there versus how I feel watching it back, and it's just an interesting difference. It feels creepier watching it, I guess, because of the music and the you can see more that you can't see when you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think. Because it would definitely be a whole new experience, especially on your end, because outside of Mount Olivet Cemetery and I believe Resurrection Cemetery, those were the 2 that I believe you were in control of the camera, where I controlled the camera for the remaining other ones.
Right.
I think you did do Bachelor's Grove for a part of it, and I think we kind of switched out through it. But it's like you got an opportunity to kind of check out the cemetery through your own eyes, and now you get an opportunity to kind of see like what I caught and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool to kind of check everything out, like I said, and to kind of recap it, and I have gotten like some feedback from some people about the videos on how they really like it. I've actually had a couple people ask if they could be part of this for next year. Like I actually had somebody ask me if they had any interest in maybe bringing them along with us doing this next year if we were to do it. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I know that is an idea to do this again next year, but maybe not cemeteries. I think we were talking about maybe buildings or churches or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you what, that might be a fun Patreon reward if we ever get around to making one of those.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Well, we always try to do something new and something different when we hit new seasons. So maybe that's something we can look at kind of creating for season 6 coming up, which is actually coming up in, I think, about like 4 weeks. I think we're 4 weeks away from season 6. And actually, as we're recording, we're only 2 weeks away from our 5-year anniversary show.
Woo!
So I'm really excited for that too. So again, guys, make sure you check out the Freaky Cemetery tours that we did. Like I said, we did 8 of them. 6 of them are currently released on YouTube, with the next ones being released on October 30th and I believe October 27th, I think. So check them all out. Enjoy them. There's going to be one I'm going to talk about next week, and it pertains to Resurrection Cemetery. I'm going to reiterate the fact that there is a voice in the video that I really wish Joe would have heard.
Me too.
Because I fucking heard it. And I sent you the recording, and you told me on the last episode, oh, I didn't hear anything. I listened to the recording. I said, Joe, and it's fucking there.
I can't hear it.
It's there. I swear to God, I'll kill you. No, I'm kidding. No, it's really cool. Like I said, check it out. As soon as you guys have an opportunity to watch the video, come and check out this podcast, and I'll tell you the timestamp of the noise so you can kind of check it out for yourself. Because I don't want you to sit there and try to focus on, like, oh, there's something. I want to see if you guys catch it on your own. And then I'll tell you the timestamp on the following episode. So I'm really happy for him. I'm really glad we took the opportunity to do it, and we did it for you guys because you are dedicated listeners and viewers of our show, and we felt we should give you a little bit more, especially during Halloween, because it's on top of my list of holidays as well as it is the Freak Shows, because it gives him an opportunity to kind of get out of bed and spend the next 30 days with me.
True.
So, yes. Joe, we have an exciting show as we are going to be reading a story created by Sarge, the host of The Gray Area, 1/3 of Freaknet Studios. If you guys have a chance, you can check out his podcast on all podcast platforms. He's also available on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, The Gray Area 1. So make sure you check him out there. Also at thegrayarea.com. So, we get to read his story. We got the voice of the Freak Joe with the words of Sarge. So that'll be an interesting combination to read. And we're also going to continue with our Freaky Show game, Shit or Treat. We're going to look at movie serial killers that are based on real life serial killers. I'm going to give Joe 2 serial killers. He's going to pick probably the most creepiest, the most serial killerish, the most villainous or whatever, guy, and then we're just going to match him up against somebody else and so on and so forth. So we're going to do that as well. We also got to go over the presidential bracket, kind of talk about that, get that updated, because that's been a couple weeks, so I just want to give a quick refresher. But before we even do that, we got to do the norm. We got to do what we do here in Season 5, and that is our Season 5 segment of Left. So, Joe, if you're ready, you want to tell me what freaking happened this week? Or last week, technically, or whatever the fuck we're doing?
Yeah. So last week, on October 16th, 9 years ago? Yeah, in 2011, a 100-year-old man named Fauja Singh became the oldest person to run a marathon at 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and according to Wikipedia, he is still alive. Still kicking at 109. He says, speaking about the marathon, the first 20 miles are not difficult, but the last 6 I run while talking to God. Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
That's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you got for us?
Mine is from October 12th, 1997. Excuse me. Singer John Denver is killed when a small aircraft he was piloting crashed off the coast of California. The cause of the accident was Denver's inability to switch fuel tanks while in flight. Denver had purchased a plane from the individual who built it from a kit. The builder had placed the fuel switch behind the pilot as opposed to its intended position between the pilot's legs. This prevented the pilot from switching tanks while strapped in and required the pilot to twist their body 90 degrees to reach the switch. Denver apparently lost control while trying to switch fuel tanks and crashed, even though Denver was aware of the switch location and that he was low on fuel in his primary tank. He chose to fly anyways, believing he could fly on autopilot while switching tanks. Denver was not legally permitted to fly at the time due to the previous drunk driving arrest. And well, he had no alcohol in his system at the time of the accident. Excuse me. Which is funny because I was always told that he died because he was flying a plane drunk. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But now we learned he wasn't drunk; he was just incompetent. So that's
Yep.
Cool. Way to go, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm dying, Joe.
We all are.
All right, guys. Serial killers, or not serial killers? Presidential bracket, same damn thing, I guess. Oh man. All right, I'm here. Don't worry, guys. I am still here. I'm just trying to fucking click the right little box on my computer. So a couple weeks ago, we had 4 different matchups moving forward in our presidential bracket. This is the round 2 part of it. We had Theodore Roosevelt taking on Martin Van Buren. Theodore Roosevelt did beat out Buren. Grover Cleveland taking on Ulysses S. Grant. Grant took the win there. George Washington took on Andrew Johnson, where Washington won, and John Adams took on Lyndon B. Johnson, where John Adams picked up the win. I'm not going to lie, Joe. I think we did these.
It feels familiar.
Like, reading it back, I think we fucking did it.
I don't know. Listeners, you pay better attention sometimes than we do.
God, yeah.
You want to just tell us what you think?
Right? So you want to tell me how wrong I fucking am? You know what? I know for a fact we did them. So, God damn it. Okay, so here are my little post-it notes that I should have just looked at before I did anything. I have the results from the last poll we did a couple weeks ago. God, I'm a fucking mess, Joe. I'm so glad you put up with this.
I feel like I've got no room. No room to complain.
A couple of weeks ago, we put out 4 polls in the final round of the round 2 bracket, with Abraham Lincoln taking on James Garfield, Rutherford B. Hayes taking on Ronald Reagan, Dwight D. Eisenhower taking on John Q. Adams, and James Monroe taking on Andrew Jackson.
That sounds more right.
Yeah. So the results of that one, so I cannot be a fucking monster anymore. Abraham Lincoln beat out James Garfield, which I'm not too surprised. Fucking Lincoln's king.
Yep.
The closest one out of all these was Hayes versus Reagan, which surprisingly, for like the first half of the day, Reagan was taking a lead. Hayes actually beat him out by 2 votes following the end of the night, and the following morning there were a couple more votes that tallied in. So that one did surprise me. I did think Reagan was going to beat out Hayes, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the name Rutherford that people voted for the most.
Probably.
Eisenhower beat out John Q. Adams, which I'm not too surprised about. That was a pretty big landslide, so Lincoln won. And another close one, but not too close, Andrew Jackson beat out James Monroe. So, just give me 1 minute to kind of fill the remaining actually bracket in, because I don't plan ahead, which we never really do on this show.
No. It is what it is.
I think that's what makes our show more unique and more fan-friendly.
Yeah, it's organic. It's freewheeling.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Maybe if I spelled Abraham right, you know? I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing the one thing you should never do, as taught in computer classes. You never copy and paste.
Really?
Yeah, I learned that you should never copy and paste. I guess
weird.
It's beneath people. I don't fucking understand the world.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I think they just want you to learn how to type.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, guys. Alright, so this is you motherfucker. Get the hell out of here. Okay. So this is the quarterfinals, I believe this would be called. Yeah, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. Cool. So we're in the quarterfinal round.
Ooh.
These next guys will obviously be led into the semifinals, which will go to the finals, so we have our ultimate fucking winner. So the next 4 polls that will be going up following this episode: Theodore Roosevelt will be taking on Ulysses S. Grant. George Washington will be taking on John Adams. Dwight D. Eisenhower will be taking on Andrew Jackson. And Abraham Lincoln will be taking on Rutherford B. Hayes.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Joe, let me get your opinion. I think the hardest decision one is going to be Roosevelt versus Grant. How do you think our listeners are going to vote?
I think they're going to vote for Roosevelt.
You think Roosevelt?
Yeah. We're talking Theodore, right?
We're talking, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're talking about Teddy.
Yeah. I think so. I think people are bigger fans of him. I would pick Grant personally because I really like Grant, but.
Both outstanding soldiers, veterans in the military, both young presidents, I believe. I think before JFK came around, I think Teddy was the youngest president, like I think 47 years old or something like that. Grant,
that's correct.
I think Grant was somewhere in his 50s. Grant, obviously the general of the Civil War, where I think Theodore Roosevelt was oh God, I want to say French Indian, but that's not even sound right. War of 1812 maybe, or some shit like that.
No, he was
after
the Civil War, but before World War One.
Yeah.
I can't remember what wars they were. Was there
Spanish,
a Mexican-American war in there somewhere?
Was it Spanish-American War?
Yeah, maybe.
All I know is that he was the leader of the Rough Riders. I think he was known for like those little tiny bifocal, like pinched to the nose glasses that didn't go around your ears, just pinched to the nose. Mm-hmm. The teddy bear was named after him.
Yep.
So, all in all, like I think like the true only cowboy of the fucking presidents.
Yeah.
Like if anyone was like more cowboy than anyone, it was fucking Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Like I think personally, I would vote Roosevelt over Grant, but I think that's just because like I like the fact that he was a fucking Rough Rider and like he fucking like shot a bear.
People like to root for a Rough Rider.
Right? Who wouldn't? Who would not? And those who appreciate that joke and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So we did that. We got that taken care of. And we will move forward from that because we'll go on to, oh my God, minimize me, minimize. What the fuck are you doing? Get the hell away from me, you stupid. There we go. Thank you. I don't know why. I minimized the fucking bracket and also it just popped up again. I was like, hey, let's adjust some settings. No, sir, I will not. I know what it's doing. It knows that I'm fucking sleep deprived and it's fucking with me.
Yep.
Okay. Joe, we're going to play some shit or treat here, bro.
Excellent.
26 serial killer movies based on real life and death of serial killers. I'm going to give you a name and a description of a serial killer. And I'm going to give you a name and a brief description of a second serial killer. You're going to choose which one is more serial killery. And then I'm going to move on to the next one and pair up that person against them, so on and so forth until we go through the list. And you give me the most serial killery that we have from this list. I know there's a lot more other serial killer movies out there other than what's on this list. If you guys feel I left something out, please go on Twitter, go on Facebook, use the hashtag Freaky Show or Freakin Sane, whichever one you want to use, and let us know, because I do encourage you guys to give us feedback on the show. It's how you keep interactive in here, and it's how we know how to move forward with our shit. So, Joe, if you're ready, I am also ready.
I'm ready.
Cool. All right. Jeffrey Dahmer, played by Jeremy Renner. Jeffrey Dahmer had a total of 17 murders in his life. See here. Currently, he is dead. He was beaten to death by a prisoner while in prison. Jeff Dahmer was... What's up?
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Quick question, Joe. What are you doing where it sounds like you're cutting out and rubbing a microphone?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm running.
What is that noise? Because it sounds like a weird, like, Mario sex scene.
It's my finger rubbing against the microphone hold on my iPad.
You're also very distant and, like, barely audible.
Is this better?
A little bit.
What about this?
Yeah, there we go.
Just hold it right there? Okay.
It sounds like you got too relaxed.
Could be.
Yeah. We got a little bit more show to do, Joe. Okay. Jeffrey Dahmer was one of the most depraved serial killers of all times. He began his killing career just 3 weeks after graduating from high school. Handsome and charming, he lured young men back to his home where he typically drugged them, strangled them, had sex with them, sometimes after death, and dismembered them, saving and sometimes eating the remains. He'll be going up against John Bunting, known as the Bodies in Barrels Killer. He has 11 people as a body count. He used to torture, strangle, and cannibalize his victims. Currently, he is in prison serving 11 consecutive terms of life without parole. John Bunting was the ringleader of a murderous gang that terrorized South Australia from 1992 to 1999. Like many other serial killers, he believes he was cleansing the world of undesirable or weak people. Some of his victims were discovered dismembered in barrels of acid, giving the killer his nickname.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. I gotta give it to Dahmer. I've heard of him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I would see that would sway Bunting over Dahmer is the belief that he feels he was cleansing the world of people. And that's a very what could that body count have been if he was never caught?
Right? Yeah, that's fair. But I also feel like there's something to me also, and maybe this is a me problem, but the fact that he's in Australia, I just don't care as much.
Right.
America has the best serial killers. I'm sorry.
Oh, they got to. We make movies about them, man.
No. That's all we have.
That's all we got. That's all we have. We have coffee shops and serial killer movies.
Right.
Based on true events. Okay, so Dahmer's going up against Ivan Malay. I believe M-I-L-A-T, but I'm assuming because it's kind of foreign, the T is silent. So Ivan Malay, known as the Backpacker Killer. 7 people in his body count, so not as high as Dahmer or Bunting. He left victims face down with their hands behind their backs. He currently is in prison, serving 7 consecutive life sentences, plus 18 years with life without parole. The killer is called Mick Taylor in the movie, but the story is based on Ivan Malay killing spree, which terrorized New South Wales, Australia. So you kind of see where this is going because it's Australia, from 1989 to 1993. So right around the time that Bunting fucking started, this guy was kind of finishing up. Malay preyed on backpackers in the Australian outback, many of them foreign tourists. Some of his victims were decapitated.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's intense. Australia, you're really strong. You got some strong serial killers there.
Mm-hmm.
It's messed up. I still got to go with Dahmer. I mean, the fact that he's still alive in prison. You said?
Yep.
Like,
No, wait, who's alive in prison?
Not Dahmer, the other guy.
Yes,
Malay?
yeah.
Or Malay?
Malay. Yeah.
I feel like if your other prisoners aren't willing to kill you because of how horrible your crimes are, there must not be that bad.
Joey, I remember you talking to me, maybe a couple years ago. It could have been a year ago. I'm not good with time. You did some work in prisons.
I did.
How would you feel sitting in a class and seeing like Ted Bundy fucking walk in?
It'd be very weird.
Like a John Wayne Gacy or some fucking shit like that. Like,
I am not sure.
Right? It's like you have to take roll call and pretend not to know it, or like you don't even realize it until you do roll call and it's like, all right, and Ed Gein.
Right?
Right? And he's just looking at you, licking his fucking lips like, you actually look pretty fucking tasty.
I don't know if I'd be able to handle that. All the guys in my class were like, they were good guys, even though not all of them, quite a few of them had murdered somebody. But they were pretty rehabilitated by the time they were in class.
Mm. Oh, some people, I can't remember the serial killer's name. Maybe it's on this list. I'll have to, if it's on this list, I'll try to get the information. I don't have the information for you right now, but basically there was a guy who killed like his grandma and his grandpa and like these other fucking people and then went to prison and shit, like very young fucking age, still in prison today in the United States, and completely fucking nice guy. Like people would say like he's one of the nicest guys they ever met.
So weird.
It's weird. Yeah. All right. Dahmer's going up against the Zodiac Killer. This is probably one of my favorite serial killer stories, just for the fact that the Zodiac Killer was never caught. So just known as the Zodiac Killer. Obviously, there's no real name because the person has never been caught. He targeted and shot or stabbed couples. Currently still is on the loose. Body count is 5+ because they still don't have a definitive count on how many. Unlike the other entries on this list, the killer at the center of this film has never been captured. Zodiac claimed responsibility for 37 killings. Police believe that he actually only killed 5. Regardless, Zodiac struck fear into the hearts of Northern Californians for nearly a year as he assaulted and killed primarily couples in the area. Zodiac follows Robert Graysman's year-long attempt to identify the killer, although Graysmith and the film seem to settle on one particular suspect as the Zodiac Killer. The case is less clear-cut than the film may actually appear. Mm-hmm. I know the Zodiac Killer sent some decrypted letters to police officers, made phone calls and stuff like that. They can never really clearly state who it is. There is still a possibility, based on years and age, that the Zodiac Killer is still currently alive, but if he is probably I think in his 80s, if were to still be alive today. So this is probably going to be one of those things where if they can't catch him, he's going to take that secret to his grave. So
probably, I like to think that he figured out he could kill more people as a U.S. Senator, and that it's Ted Cruz.
Not even close at the same age.
It's my favorite conspiracy theory is that it's Ted Cruz. Or was it Ted Cruz's father? I can't remember.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I know Ted Cruz definitely isn't old enough to do it.
Yeah.
Unless he was like 9.
Yeah, he was like 9 when he was doing it.
There we go.
So it's where he honed his focus. Just kidding. Don't sue us, Ted Cruz.
Or come on the show and talk to us about it.
Maybe it would help us
right.
Make the big times.
Come on the show and talk to us, Ted Cruz.
Yeah, come tell us why you're not the Zodiac Killer.
Prove it.
But I am going to pick the Zodiac Killer to move on. I think the fact that he was never caught is impressive, and so
Right, and one of the cool things too is like those decrypted letters that because he gave them like I know there's no word for it, but like legends and stuff to kind of decipher it, and
nice.
College like professors and doctors and stuff could even like crack. I think they cracked one of a few that he sent, but it's like it was basically like challenging to like here catch me and shit like that. And obviously I think like just being a serial killer, like maybe obviously you don't really want to be caught, so maybe the things made no sense, but like no one can fucking solve it. So it was an interesting story. So taking on the Zodiac Killer, the movie Monster is based on the killer Eileen Wuornos with 7 kills by shooting at close range. She is dead. She was executed in 2002 by lethal injection. Wuornos, the rare female serial killer, targeted men she claimed had raped her or tried to. Abandoned by her mother, Wuornos began selling her body as a child for cigarettes and food. She was working as a prostitute in Florida during her killing spree. The glamorous Charlize Theron required extensive makeup to transform herself into the hard-lived Wuornos. I'm trying to remember, but I do believe, if you remember, Joe, several months ago, we did a show about actors who go to the extreme.
Yeah.
I believe she was on it for something. I'm not saying she killed anybody, but I think there was something like about her diet and appearance and stuff that she like went like hardcore into it. I'm trying to remember, but I think that was probably mentioned at some point in that show, based on this movie Monster.
Gotcha.
So Eileen Wuornos or the Zodiac Killer?
I'm gonna go to Eileen Wuornos.
Nice.
That's intense. I like that.
Nice.
Good on her. Stand up for yourself.
Right. Hey man.
Women can be killers too.
Right. Equal but fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Don't be limited by your gender, ladies.
Right. Follow your star.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next killer on the list is Henry Lee Lucas. This guy actually has a fucking Netflix documentary about him. This also is a pretty interesting dude. Based on the movie Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Henry Lee Lucas is also known as the Confession Killer, portrayed by Michael Rooker in the movie. His body count is unknown. He has confessed, though, to killing 600 people. So, currently he is dead. He died of a heart attack in prison. His death sentence was commuted to life in prison by the Texas Governor George W. Bush. So he was on death row, but because he cooperated with the location of several dead bodies, they commuted his sentence to life in prison so he could continue to help out. Lucas's first murder was probably his mother, a prostitute who reportedly made Lucas watch her work. There is strong evidence linking him to between 2 to 10 more murders, but when he was in prison, he began confessing to hundreds of unsolved cases. Most of those confessions turned out to be false in the film. His victims were entirely random, including a good Samaritan who stopped to help Lucas fix his car. If you guys ever had a chance to watch the Netflix film documentary about it, it is interesting. If you haven't, definitely check it out, because a lot of it is actual raw footage from him sitting down with police officers, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, eating donuts, socializing with these guys about where bodies are and everything. And they said that, he did confess to about 600 murders. And the thing is, he kept giving them locations on where bodies were, and bodies kept being turned up. So it is an interesting documentary. I do recommend checking it out. This guy actually had a partner at some point too. I just can't remember his name.
Is
but
it
Joe,
Otis Toole?
Yes. That guy's a fucking nut job.
He looks like one.
Right? He's like, I'm trying to, oh fuck, what is it? You ever watch the TV show Psych?
Yes.
Okay. Did you remember the one where, Sean gets like shot and kidnapped? And, he's like tied up in like that old gas station?
No.
So, the actor who plays, Yandu is in that episode.
Oh, nice.
And,
Michael Rooker?
Yeah, maybe. Oh shit! Yeah, that's the guy who plays Henry Lee Lucas in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Perfect reference. So in that TV show, the Roker guy, Michael Rooker or whatever, who plays Lucas in this, kind of plays a Lucas type character in that Psych film, or that Psych TV show, because there's two guys. Rooker kidnaps Sean because Sean's snooping around shit, brings him to this fucking, gas station, and the other guy who portrays more of an oddest character is like, we need to kill him, and then, Rooker's like, no, we don't, he has a wife, so it was really fun, cool, and it's awesome that you told me what his real name is, because now looking at this picture, he looks exactly like, fucking Yandu, makes perfect fucking sense, so.
Yeah.
But what I need from you, Joe, are we sending through, Warnos, or are we sending, Lucas through?
I'm going to send Warnos through because she didn't confess to anything that she didn't do.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Also,
right.
Just as a fun aside, there's a picture of Lucas on Wikipedia where he looks like Borat.
Yeah. Oh, his teeth were fucked up too. I think they actually offered to fix his teeth to give him more like locations of bodies. If you have Netflix, check out the documentary. It's so fucking good. It's such a good documentary. It's a lot better than those fucking Bundy tapes. Those things are just creepy. Anyways, all right. Next serial killer, we have Richard Speck, movie Speck. 8+ kills. Currently, he is dead. He died of a heart attack at the age of 50 while serving.
Lame. Sorry.
While serving out his 400 to 1,200 year prison sentence. Richard Speck committed all 8 of his confirmed murders on the same night. In 1966, he raped and killed 8 nursing students living together in a townhouse by hiding under a bed. One young woman managed to survive. She later identified him by his distinctive tattoo, leading to his arrest and trial. Although Speck's night of crime was more rightfully qualify him as a spree killer, his suspected early murders make him a candidate for this list as well.
Jesus. He's from like close by.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's from Kirkwood's far away. But he died in Crest Hill. Probably at Stateville.
Oh, shit. When did he die?
1991. One
August.
day before his 50th birthday.
It's way after the time you were there.
Yeah. Way before.
That's fucking creepy. Dude, fucking hiding under someone's fucking bed?
Yeah. But you know what? I still think it's lame to die of a heart attack instead of living out your sentence like a man.
His 1,200 year sentence?
Yeah. What kind of coward just dies?
God. Oh shit, Joseph. Are you gonna go with Warnos?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep Warnos.
Gonna stick with Warnos just because dude died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Especially at 50 years old.
Yeah. Grow up.
Can you imagine that one savage motherfucker who gets like 300 years to life or whatever, like bullshit, like a 300-year sentence, and he fucking lives it out?
Right?
God, that's gonna happen one fucking day.
I know. So cool. I mean, it wouldn't be cool because, I don't know.
Right? Because it'll be like some 378-year-old fucking serial killer living next door to you, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be really... I mean, hopefully by then he'd be really feeble and he wouldn't be able to kill anybody. But
nah, dude, he'd probably be doing fucking yoga just so he knows like he'd just go out and do it again.
Right? It'd be like that episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Holtz nemesis got out by seducing the van driver or whatever.
Yeah. Oh God, the guy with the fucking like cut off his own
yo-yo.
leg or some shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the yo-yo strangler or whatever.
Mm. All right, Joe. Woman against woman. Next one is Carla Hamalka. I can pronounce that wrong, but I don't care. We're just gonna go with Carla. 3 kills. Her MO is she teamed up with her husband, Paul Bernardo, to target young women. Currently, she is alive, remarried, and now living in Quebec. So she is not in prison. The film is a reimagining of a behind bars therapy session with Carla as a psychologist determines whether she should be eligible for parole. It's thought-provoking, yet she came under fire for undermining Carla's complicity in her crimes. In real life, Carla helped her husband rape and kill at least 3 young women, including her own sister. Videotapes of the heinous crimes shown was a more active participation than she originally claimed.
Jesus.
So she is out. She is remarried. Somebody married that, and she lives in Canada.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep Warnos because I just don't. This too messed up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Warnos is going to be taking on the Phantom Killer. Never caught. So very similar to the Zodiac Killer.
All right.
No unknown. The name is unknown. Known as the Phantom Killer. 5 killed, 3 wounded. Double homicides targeting couples. As of today, presumed dead. A number of suspects emerged for the so-called Phantom Killer who terrorized a small Texas town, but no one was ever arrested for the murders that took place. The townspeople lived in fear for decades after the killing stopped, but they finally slept at night. The crime took place in the 40s, making it unlikely that the killer is still prowling the town that dreaded sundown, as the name of the movie, is only loosely based on the Phantom Killer, but is legitimately a creepy thriller.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna switch over to this guy, the Phantom Killer.
Because he like killed people in the 40s and was never caught?
Yeah, because he was never caught. I also the fact that for decades afterwards the town was still worried about it. That intrigues me. Also, I admire just for the how do I want to say this? The character I'm playing for this game. He knew when to quit. He knew when to walk away, and I admire that. I think that's important.
He is the Kenny Rogers of serial killers.
Yeah, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. That's right.
Oh God! One of my favorite actors, Lou Diamond Phillips, portrayed serial killer Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker. Confirmed 14 murders. Beaten, stabbed, and shot sleeping couples in their homes. I don't know why people are going after couples.
I don't know either.
He died of cancer, died of lymphoma while awaiting execution. The film follows a fictional lawyer's interviews with real-life killer Richard Ramirez, an avowed Satanist who never expressed remorse for his savage crimes on unsuspecting families. The 24-year-old got a sadistic thrill out of brutally attacking the inhabitants of the homes he robbed, where he occasionally inscribed pentagrams on the crime scenes. Though his killing spree lasted just a year, he managed to take 14 lives.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with the Phantom Killer, but that's an intense guy.
Mm. Probably the stupidest of the serial killers. We have BTK.
Yeah.
The guy who got himself caught.
Yep.
BTK named Dennis Rader. 10 confirmed kills. He would bound, torture, and kill, hence the BTK, his victims, sent taunting messages to police and the media. Currently in jail, serving 10 consecutive life sentences. The movie is especially creepy because it emphasizes how mundane murderers can be. Dennis Rader was a father and local Cub Scout leader who started killing men, women, and children alike in the 70s. wasn't apprehended until 2005. This movie is largely told from the perspective of the detectives who handled his case for the 3 decades that it was open.
Jeez. It wasn't caught till 2005. That's wild.
Well, he also, like, I mean, and I guess in, like, some sense, like, he could have, like, just stayed hidden, but the fact that, like the anniversary of the murders, like, there was, like, the 30-year anniversary came up or some shit, and he felt that he wasn't getting the due that he deserved, so he fucking decided to go out and do it again and send some fucking floppy disk to cops. That's stupidity at that point. It's like, dude, you're getting away with it. Let it be.
Yeah.
But, anyways, who do you got for the next round?
We'll keep the Phantom Killer.
All right, cool.
Only for consistency's sake.
Probably one of the most well-known serial killers in the world is Ted Bundy, portrayed by Mark Harmon. NCIS fans out there who like Gibbs. Strangled, beaten, necrophilia was his MO. Currently, he is dead. He was executed by the electric chair in 1989, so the same year I was born. Ted Bundy preyed on college-aged women to lure them to their death. He was notoriously difficult to catch, having changed his appearance numerous times, fled across state lines, and even escaped from prison. Twice, actually. Bundy's lawyers called this film stunningly accurate in his portrayal of his crimes and mannerisms. Dude was also a kleptomaniac, and there was also a movie released on Netflix where Zac Efron portrayed Bundy, and that too is a very, very good fucking movie.
I'm gonna switch over to Bundy. I think he's I think the only person on the list so far who's gotten multiple movies.
Yeah. Oh, 30 plus counts too. Yeah, 30 plus body count. All right, cool. Probably two dates in this movie. This is probably the biggest head-to-head here. He'll be taking on Jeff Dahmer again. Believe it or not.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Dahmer make a return because there's a different movie called My Friend Dahmer.
Oh.
Again, 17 body count, strangulation, dismemberment, necrophilia, cannibalism. This may be the second Jeffrey Dahmer film to make this list, but the two movies are vastly different, and both warrants a viewing. My Friend of Dahmer is unique as a serial killer movie because the entire film takes place before Dahmer actually began killing. Based on a graphic novel by one of Dahmer's high school friends, the movie offers a portrait of the mind of a serial killer by chronicling his life. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would void this one out because this is pre-serial killer stories.
Yep.
Cool, let's move on.
Perfect.
Here we go. Here's the fucking man, John Wayne Gacy.
JWG.
All right, John Wayne Gacy, known as the Killer Clown, 33 body count. Strangulation was his MO. He is currently dead, executed by a lethal injection. As a clown, weren't already scary enough. Considered a respectable member of the community, John Wayne Gacy was an entertainer at children's parties by day and a murderer of young men at night. He was arrested. 26 of his 33 victims were found buried in the crawl space of his house. Many of them remain unidentified to this day.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Bundy or Gacy? That's gonna be a hard one.
I'm gonna, you gotta rep your hometown boy.
That's true.
So we're gonna switch over to Gacy because he was from Chicago.
Was it the not Des Plaines? That was Gein, but that was like Des Plaines, Iowa. What town was he from?
He was from Chicago, but the murders happened in Norridge in Norwood Park. God, that's my church is right there.
I think it's fucking. It was funny because I think it was about a month ago. They were talking about how like the land that John Wayne Gacy's house was on, that house that's currently there is for sale. Because obviously they tore the house down and rebuilt, but right. That property is for sale now.
Creepy.
Okay. David Berkowitz is the next one on our list. Son of Sam. If you guys know, this is the crazy dude who listened to his dog. 6 people were killed with a .44 caliber revolver. He currently is behind bars, serving 6 consecutive life sentences. Berkowitz's nickname arose from the chilling letters he addressed to law enforcement, which he signed Son of Sam. He gained notoriety for shooting young women in New York City in the 70s, which he claimed were ritual murders performed for a satanic cult. With Martin Sheen and Hector Alonso making appearances as detectives and priests, respectively, this made for TV movie as supporting gravitas. But also, don't forget, he listened to his dog, and I believe he got caught for, he ordered food or some shit. It was something goofy. I can't remember. It was one of those stupid BTK situations. He got himself caught.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with Gacy.
Good call, man. Boston Strangler. Albert DeSalvo. 13 people killed by strangulation, obviously. Boston Strangler. Currently dead. He was stabbed by an unidentified fellow inmate. So just like Dahmer, death by another criminal. This film is loosely based on the circumstances surrounding the crimes and capture of Albert DeSalvo, whose identity as the Boston Strangler is still disputed to this day, although DNA evidence unearthed in 2013 matched him to at least one of the murders. Many believe that he was not responsible for all the homicides that he confessed to.
Well, I'm going to stick with Gacy then.
Excellent. I bet you change your mind on this next one.
Probably.
The movie's called From Hell. The real name of the killer is unknown. There's a dispute about the body count. It could be 5. It could be more. His MO is throat slashing and abdominal mutilation. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack the Ripper.
Ooh, classic.
This movie is a reimagining of the circumstances surrounding the homicide commitment of Jack the Ripper in late 19th century London. While the killings were very real, swirling rumors and the passage of time have made it impossible to disentangle all the facts from this figure of urban legend. We do know that what we know is that Jack the Ripper was a gruesome killer who was suspected to have some surgical knowledge based on his precise mutilations of the body. I have heard several different fucking theories on who this could have been. Actually, H.H. Holmes was considered a Jack the Ripper at one time.
Oh, dang.
Yep. So, Jack the Ripper or Gacy, bro?
You know what? I am going to change. I'm going to go Jack the Ripper because he is the archetype.
Gotcha. This one I don't get. This one seems stupid. The Alligator Man, real name Joe Ball. Killed at least 2 people, but possibly as many as 20, said to have fed women to his alligators. He is not alive. He shot himself while being questioned by police. The movie's killer goes by Judd, but his real life inspiration was Joe Ball, a Prohibition-era bootlegger. A witness confirmed that Ball enlisted the help to dispose of 2 bodies by feeding them to alligators he kept in his backyard. However, many more women in the area had gone missing, including his wife and a few ex-girlfriends, meaning this killer's body count could be much higher.
I think if someone's speculating that your body count is higher, it might not be. I'm going to stick with Jack the Ripper.
Okay. Andre Chikatilo. I'm just going to go with Andre.
Sure.
The Butcher of Rostov. Body count is 52. The MO is disembowelment and mutilation. He is dead. He was executed for his crimes. This movie follows the efforts of detectives to zero in on the prolific murder responsible for the death of dozens of women and children. This American-made movie takes place in the Soviet Union, given an extra depth of incorporating the political ideology of the bureaucrats trying to crack the astonishing case.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm going to stick with Jack the Ripper, but this guy sounds fascinating.
Nice. Next on our list, we do have John Crystal. No cool serial killer name. 8 kills, possibly more, using gas to render victims unconscious and then strangling them. Currently dead. Death by execution by hanging. The case of this British serial killer is especially fantastic, not only due to his heinous crimes. Oh, fascinating, not fantastic.
Oh.
Holy shit. Fascinating, not only due to his heinous crimes, his victims include babies and pregnant women, but also because his actions led to an extraordinary miscarriage of justice. Pun. Another man was hanged for his crimes before Christie's culpability was discovered. The film's name comes from the address of Christie's House of Horrors, where he buried bodies in the garden walls and under the floorboards. The movie is called 10 Rollington Place.
That guy sounds fascinating to me. I think I'm going to switch over.
To John Christie?
Yeah.
It's because he's British?
Yeah. Well, Jack the Ripper's British, too.
Ooh, but that's London. This is more Englandish. This goes British. This is Britain. All right. I gotta stop procrastinating. We gotta get through this. Almost done though. We're good. Albert Fish. At least three people. Never heard of this guy. I never heard of this guy. I'm glad you did. Albert Fish killed at least 3 people. Cannibalism. Currently is dead, executed by an electric chair. This movie is based on Albert Fish, who was convicted of killing 3 children and may have been responsible for another 5. The gruesome killer mutilated and ate his victims' bodies. Fish had a family history of mental illness and was known to be a sadomasochist.
Masochist.
At the time of his arrest, x-rays revealed that he had embedded at least 29 needles into his own pelvis. Despite evidence that Fish was insane, the jury felt that he should be executed and subsequently found him sane and guilty of murder. Joe, tell me how you heard about this guy, and then who do you pick?
They did Robert Evans did a Behind the Bastards about him because there's a comedian from Cracked. Her name is Maggie Mayfish, and she's actually like a distant relative of him.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well,
so
cool.
I can get you the link if you want to put it in the show notes. It's fascinating.
Yeah, we can check that out. Who do you pick? You going with Christie?
I'm going to stick with John Christie. But...
Okay. We didn't do Ed Gein yet, right? This is a duplicate?
Correct.
Okay. Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield, definitely probably in our top 5 well-known serial killer, along with Dahmer, Gacy, Bundy, and obviously Jack the Ripper. He killed at least 2 people. Now, the reason he's on this list is because a lot of people that he tore apart and shit like that were bodies he dug up in cemeteries. Shooting, mutilation, exhumation. He currently is dead. He died from cancer while committed to a psychiatric institution. Even though Ed Gein's number of confirmed victims doesn't quite qualify him as a serial killer, the nature of his crimes make him one of the most terrifying and disturbing killers of all time. Gein mutilated his victims' remains and bodies. He robbed from graves to make suits out of human skin and masks out of corpse faces. Upon arrest, his home was found full of his collection of human remains. Gein was an inspiration for countless horror movies, including Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Jesus. You know what? I'm reading this list of things the authorities found. I think I'm going to switch to him. He's real fucked up.
The nipple belt?
The nipple belt.
There were
9 vulvae in a shoebox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would he'd cut skulls in half and use them as like bowls and shit. And,
yeah.
Green River Killer. Here's another interesting one. Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway. I believe this is another prostitute murderer. Body count 49, but confessed to 71. Strangulation, necrophilia, dumping bodies into the Green River. Serving life imprisonment without parole. Currently, the film captures the crimes of a man who once claimed that killing young women, especially prostitutes, was his career. Ted Bundy assisted investigators in his capture by offering his opinion on Ridgway's behavior and motivations. Many of his predictions turned out to be true and helpful in identifying Ridgway.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to stick with Gein.
Gein?
Gein, yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't apologize. He's a psychopath.
Fair.
Call him Ed for all I care. Eddie!
All right, from Blair.
Got 3 more. Okay. The Iceman, Richard Koklinski, killed at least 6 people. His MO was freezing the bodies. Died in jail while serving 2 consecutive life sentences.
Only 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Koklinski had already earned a reputation for his murder rage when he enlisted as a hitman by the Mafia family. He went on to lead a double life with his wife and children, who were unaware of his crimes, but occasionally subjected to his violent temper. This movie leverages a strong cast to create a sleek, crime biopic. Shannon, I don't know, it just says Shannon, that's stupid. Winona Ryder, Chris Evans, Ray Liotta.
I'm going to stick with Geen.
Okay. See here. Wayne Williams, 23, but 23 is his body count, but that is currently also disputed. Strangulation and asphyxiation of children. Currently in prison, serving a life sentence. Citizen of Atlanta, Georgia, lived in horror from 1979 to 1981, as 28 children and young adults were killed. After Wayne Williams was already behind bars for life for the murder of 2 men, police announced that he was also the man responsible for the child slayings. Williams has maintained his innocence, claiming that he was used as a scapegoat when police couldn't crack the case.
I'm going to switch you over to him. Sounds interesting.
Okay, and then we are ending this with Carl Panzram. 5+ kills, shooting and sexual assault. He is dead. He was hung for his crimes. Evidence indicate that Carl Panzram committed at least 5 murders, though he boasted killing 21 boys and men. Panzram was in and out of prison his whole life and wrote an autobiography during one of his stints in jail for burglary. His manuscripts became a basis for the film entitled Killer, a Journal of Murder. Panzram was hung in 1930 after he beat a prison foreman to death.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give it to him right at the end. Sneaking in.
There we go. Panzram there. Taking the title of the creepiest serial killer movie based on real serial killer. So, congratulations, Carl Panzram. If we gave out Star Awards, you would definitely get one.
Yep.
Yep. All right, guys, before we dive into our freaky tales here that Freak Joe is going to read for us here in a second. I just want to remind all you guys again, make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe to us, hit the notification bell, check out the Freaky Cemetery tour that me and Freak Joe did. We did that for you guys, so you can enjoy that. Also, keep in mind, in 2 weeks, the week of November 2nd, we are releasing our 5-year anniversary show. Make sure you tune in for that as well, because we do have an amazing announcement on that episode that is going to pertain to season 6 and possibly more seasons going forward if it works out, as well as we're hoping it will. So, with that being said, Freak Joe, I'm going to take a step back, and the show is yours.
Excellent. This one is a story called The Knocking. It's by Sarge from the Gray Area. All this paperwork of the lives I live off of. Pointless. Poor desolates that owe their wealth to me. My fortune has been made off the backs of the less fortunate, and good riddance. Alas, the document that started it all. My beginning. I have no need for this. It's been too long. I'm going to enjoy reading this over a 20,000 bourbon nightcap before I cast it to the flame. I'm my own entity, and I'm owned by no one. My soul will sleep well to know so. Who dares impede on my slumber? The night is for the rest. I shall not be disturbed. I beseech thee to halt this ridiculous tapping at my door. Do these servant peasants contemplate the meaning of knowing their place in my household? There cannot be any valid reason to this aggravating bother. I must maintain my rest, for I am an immersed businessman in the morning. I will not be shaken from a mere mortal with impatience such as this. Do they not understand that I pay their wages? Wages that will end come first light due to this betrayal of peace? A brilliant man, such as myself, does not waver or compromise one's pride to the attention-seeking of the help. I am a lion, and these sheep need to veer from my pride. Men such as me, earning my respected fortune and place in this society as a distinguished leader of self-made entitlement, do not amuse these grotesque grabs at my attention. I built myself up from the cobblestone gutter to be the fortune I am today. This peace and slumber will not be stirred by the incourteous help. My story far surpasses those of any day-to-day man. You must stop with this knocking and tapping to return nevermore. I was once a shell of a young man, a whisper to the booms of the people. The world was dark, bleak, without any eyes on forward motion. I had those eyes. I just needed the motion. In times like these, I knew what society needed. Money. The currency to move forward in whatever such endeavor they deemed fit. No, I did not wish to ride along on the journey of these people to their future goals. I just wished to be a stepping stone for their pathetic dreams. A stone that seemed like a godsend to the hopeless, but alas, only to sink into my pockets. I did not wish to invest in their hopes just for them to fail later, dragging me as well into the recesses of poverty. Society oozed with desperation, a longing, selfless need to provide and care for the ones they loved, not me. No way. Family, love, friendship, and hope were signs of weakness, obstacles in the path of these unfortunate men. I just needed the means to give them what they thought they needed, money. To give these futile, pathetic, desperate people a way to get their lives back on track. I wanted to own that track. However, I too was a poor man. In order to make currency, I needed it. To give loans with exceeding returns to these distressed and anguished flock of the lost, yet hopeful. Hopeful enough to be taken advantage of, with increased profit for myself. They would take interest in my charity, and I would take interest from them. The need to provide for the ones they love would eclipse anything that I could put into a contract. But how? How would I acquire these base funds for such loans? How would I make them legitimized in the eyes of business? I didn't want to be a dirty street shark giving loans out to be paid back under the intimidation of physical abuse. That's illegal. I didn't have the means to hire brutes to take charge from my loan interest. I wanted it to be legal, but just as conniving. Banks and lenders needed to know my model of progression, so I divulged them in my ideal propositions, my low-risk, high-reward behemoth of enterprise that would make me a rich man. These noble weeds in the dirt scoffed at me, belittled me, made me out to be a selfish man that cared not for the humanity and compassion, but of selfishness, and greed. They were not wrong. I dusted off my best suit, although outdated and worn, to appease the tyrants. I had to start somewhere. I didn't have two pence to rub together. How dare they put the selflessness and compassion of a population over the needs of one man, that one man being me? These hypocrites do the same thing on higher scales, but look down on me like I'm the bad guy. How dare they? The upsharks just looked down their noses at me, not because I was going to take advantage of the needy. Bigwigs do it all the time, but because I was competition to their enterprise and the cake of culture, and they wanted my peace. Enter the perfect stranger. Just when I had run out of options with all the banks and lenders having said no to me on multiple occasions, he saw that I needed a comfort. Presumably because I was sitting on the grime-ridden ground, having given up like the rest of the swine in this town. "Are you all right?" he asked. He looked like a Greek god chiseled from the finest marble in the world. His pinstripe suit cost more than all the money I had ever seen, and I wanted a piece. I was going to have to play my cards right if I was going to con this suave gentleman. "No, sir," I said, humbled. "All the banks won't give a poor man like me a loan when I'm just trying to provide for my family. I just need to get back on my feet. Please, call me Lou." He smiled. I thought to myself, why is he so cordial? Asking to call him by his first name, was he Mafia? This is what I didn't want. "I've been where you are, boy," he exclaimed. "I, too, know what it is like to have fallen from the eyes of grace." I was pretty sure he wasn't Mafia. Although he looked it, he didn't have any bodyguards or anyone in his company that would tell me that he was connected. Which is good, because if he called me boy again, I was going to give him a good throttle. He caught me looking around, and he, too, looked behind himself, only to look back at me and grant me a bashful smile. He reached a hand out to me and said as he helped me up, "All right, tell me about this plan of yours, boy." There's no way I could sway him into giving me a personal loan with the means I wish to feed my caches. I had to think fast and make something up. "The children of today are in trouble, sir," I said, and he smirked a painful smile. "I mean, Lou. My apologies, Lou." And he nodded. "Continue," he said, giving me his full attention. "Well, you see, these children of today, in times like these, they have no one. Many are orphans, and those with parents, well, those parents lack the means to provide. Although I'm sure they're trying their best. I just wanted a loan to help boost morale and give these children a better place to escape to, with a warm bed and a hot plate waiting. To give them hope that tomorrow can be a better day." I talked softly as I took my hat off, holding it with both hands at my waist, looking down and humbling myself to this gullible fool. His face dropped and got saddened by my fiction. Approaching me, he lifted my chin up with his perfect hands. He smelled amazing. I met eyes with him as he said, "I'm sold." "Really?" I beamed a fake smile to appease this imbecile. "Yes, come to my office this afternoon and we can hash out the details." He reached out his hand with his card. I took the card and shook his hand, staying humble. "Thank you, sir," I projected. "I'll see you soon." Calling me boy was going to cost him. Then we parted ways until the time, later that day, when his funds became my own. I arrived later that afternoon to Lou's office. The outside was basic exterior, nothing fancy. I was actually quite underwhelmed based on the way he looked earlier. I was expecting much more. Perhaps he wasn't what I thought. Then I knocked on the door. Quite possibly, no, absolutely the most elegant woman I've ever seen answered the door wearing the most intoxicating red dress. She was by far, up and away, the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. Blonde, blue eyes, body looking like milk, and her smell had me lean in a little more close than I intended on introduction. The intoxication was much the same as Lou's, but I prefer women. And this dame solidified my sexuality. "Good afternoon, madam," I said, actually humbled to be in the presence of such a beauty. Hello, sir, she bowed. Right this way to Mr. Furr's office. He'll be right in. That name seems foreign. Fur. It's those heavy G's that's the giveaway. Foreign dollars are still dollars. The lobby was dim, yet vast and extravagant. We walked down a corridor that was riddled with the most beautiful art I'd ever seen. Paintings of struggle and hope with a Gothic background. A history lesson of the trials and tribulations of mankind reaching for a shining light. The gargoyle sculptures and pieces seemed lifelike. All I saw was money. And this venue had it in spades. Whatever it was that Lou did, I didn't care. I was here for me to boost my propulsion toward my fortune. And this chump was my mark. I followed Red all the way down a corridor, black marble with cardinal trim floors, to an office that smelled of leather and pipe smoke. The fireplace was quite large and crackled heavily as the charred wood broke to the heat. It was heavenly. Everything I ever wanted, and will have, should this idiot give me what I am owed. She leaned over, looking into my eyes as she took my coat, tracing my shoulder with her manicured nails. With a smile, she exited the office. Those legs. Goodbye, doll face. With a quick knock at the entrance, Lou entered his office. I was so entranced by the outlay of his study, I didn't even know he was there. I've decided to invest in you, my boy, he spoke, as he put what I could only describe as a book on his desk in front of me. Boy or not, I wasn't going to ruin this opportunity. Oh my, thank you, Lou, I almost shouted so as to be believable. Yes, my dear boy, 100,000 to be paid to you immediately so as to not make these children struggle one more second. Don't worry about the heft of the contract, just basic knowledge of my investment in you. I'm involved with the details, but this is more about your dream. He smiled. All I heard was 100,000. I was just looking for 10,000, but I was not about to let this imbecile lower this investment. With that funding, I could jumpstart my plan while still having a shell building put up for the pathetic children so as to make him see the truth of my deception. I flipped to the back page and signed my mark right next to his signature of a Mr. Louis Cozen Fur, the dolt giving me his small fortune. The deal was done, and this dunce just duped by a ragtag no-name gutter rat like me. I did it. I conned the rich-giving fool. The money will be at the entrance when you leave. Would you like to play a game of chess before you go? He asked. Oh, no thank you, Lou. I would love to, but I'll have to take a rain check. I'll bet you anything you wish on that chess match if I'm not back soon, by golly, I said, pumping my fist across my belly, acting like the boy he thinks I am. Duty calls, and these kids can't wait. He nodded at our farewell handshake as I grabbed my jacket and headed to the door. Chess. What a joke. I just won a tougher game than that. Nothing makes a man feel better than taking advantage of the less fortunate. Although Lou has a fortune, I won the day. My future is not a game of chess when I hold all the pieces. Chess. Pathetic. Checkmate, Lou. Days became weeks, which in turn graduated to years. Years to decades. I never saw Lou again. With an investment like that, I would have had him pegged to show face. He never checked on the building for the children. I closed that after a year or two. Little parasites of the street. Gross. The wealth I made off of the defeatist in society would easily cover my cost on the original loan. I surpassed my expectations, and what is mine is mine. However, for many low scum, what is thought of to be theirs is mine also. My legal lending has made the pockets of my designer pants overflow with the income of the fallen. The downcast are quick to sign my negotiations with their dreams for a better life. The interest rates of my contracts are far second to that of a happy family and smiling children. If just for a moment, I granted that moment. Now these people fall back to the disheartened and wretched of the droves to break even with me. This struggle is not mine, but their income and property are. I have slept well. Beggar off, peasant! How dare you muddle with your master? My master? Silly boy, you forget your pre-existence to your reality. Boy, have you lost your beatings? Wait. I know that voice. Good boy. Lewis, what are you doing at my door at all hours of the night? I've come to collect. What? There is no way. You can't be here. I'm older now. You were old then. You can't be here. This is a dream. I assure you, my boy, I am here. Very well. Go to the guest room, and we shall sort this in the morning. It is far too dark to do this dealing in the now. Yes, it is dark. Eternity is dark. Even your voice lacks quotation and volume. What do you mean? He was right. I can't hear myself speak. Good boy. I had to be dreaming. I need to wake up. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! This can't be real. It is, boy. Seems you finally read the contract. Doesn't matter. I was going to arrive nevertheless. Lewis, I did read it. Last night, actually, before bed. Then I sent it to the fireplace because it's worthless. You asked for nothing in return. Horrible business plan, actually. Even so, I can square this with you in the AM. I am. You are what? I am involved. With? What is my name, boy? Lewis. Go on, boy. Full name. I am involved with the details. Mr. Lois Cozen Fur. Centralize and reduce, boy. Your name? Go on. Lewis Cause. What did I tell you to call me back when? Lou. Yes, now middle. Cozen. Meaning? Cozen. I believe the definition as in to trick or deceive. I thought it was foreign, like your last name, Fur. Didn't think anything of it. The G is silent, boy. Add it up. Think it out. I can hear your selfish mind ponder like the spoken word. What was he getting at? This is a dream, an awkward break from reality. Knock, knock. Hurry, boy. I grow impatient. Lou Cozen Fur. Seems foreign to me. G is silent. Louis Cozen Fur. Almost there, boy. I don't know what you want from me. I don't understand. Wait, I am involved in the details. In the details? The name. Lucifer. The devil is in the details. Lucifer. Oh, God. No. He can't help you now. You owe me. Should have played that chess game, boy. No. Checkmate. It's so dark. I need to wake up. Not gonna happen. You're a specter of fiction in my mind. You're not real. This isn't happening. Please wake up. Poor boy. You think this is a game? A dream? You signed a contract without reading it under false pretense to take advantage of the innocent and manipulate me? No. I couldn't be more clear. No. The suit, the style falling from grace, my card, my demon princess that opened the door. No woman looks like that without being evil. No. I tried to seduce you in the park. I persuaded you enough to come to my office. I knew exactly what would make you crack once I deduced your sexuality. No. She was quite the sight, that one. You have good taste. I knew what would impress you, whether it was me looking how you wanted to look or her looking how you want your women. She broke down your walls and inhibitions like an egg, making you susceptible to anything I wanted. No. The darkness of the lobby, the black marble floors with cardinal trim. Ha! You fool. No one calls hellfire red cardinal, you pompous mortal. The art pieces symbolizing the hurt of mankind, my glorious successes. No. I knew your thoughts then. I could hear them like projected words now. You thought you could pull one over on me, con me, take advantage of me? I'm the Prince of Darkness. Please. No, I'll make it up to you. I'll give you the rest of my life to serve you. Please. Boy, your life is over. What? This isn't a dream. I'm not outside your door. You bet anything on a chess game. And seal it with a handshake. Guess what I wanted? This is your coffin. I'm here for your soul. No! The end.
Good job, Joe.
Thank you.
And special shout out and congratulations to Sarge from the Gray Area for submitting this story. Very nice. I like it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. What are you freaking thinking about, Joe?
Oh, probably the Borat 2 that came out last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I watched it instead of watching the debate. It was good. It was good, I gotta say. It wasn't what I expected, but I think it was a better movie than the first one. A lot more, the plot was better. It held together a lot more cleanly. So, I'd recommend it. If you got Amazon Prime, I wouldn't spend money on it.
I've never seen the first one.
I liked the first one, but not as much as I liked this one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What about you? What are you freaking?
Yeah, just about this job, man. You know, like I'm back to a company that I got let go from 3 years ago in a different position, different opportunity, different type of work schedule. You know, working 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off, day and night, like alternating and stuff like that. It's a lot to deal with. Clearly, as we're recording this, it's like 11:30 Central Time in the morning, and I've been up since 2 in the afternoon yesterday. So it's just weird, like trying to get used to stuff like that. And I'm not honestly even like really that tired, but it is what it is. So it's just getting used to that and how the process of, this is going and kind of just rebuilding my life, and, make sure bills are paid right, because obviously being laid off for 9 months, wasn't easy, fun in any way. So working on that, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show, except during the month of October as we celebrate this freaky show with the Freak Joe. So during the month of October, if our fans are missing Cartoon Joe just a little too much and they need to kind of catch up with him and see what he's doing, where can they go?
If you need some Cartoon Joe, you can find him over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Pod, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Nice. Guys, make sure you follow us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter just by searching This Freaking Show. You can find our shows being released every single week on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and now on Amazon Music. So make sure you go and check out This Freaking Show. Like, subscribe, and give a rating to wherever you listen to podcasting. It does help us out. Again, make sure you, subscribe to FreakNet Studios. So you can check out the Freaky Cemetery tours that we have been releasing throughout the entire month of October, as well as some future ideas that me and Cartoon Joe have, as well as Sarge and Dizzle J, as we kind of get back together, following this whole COVID incident. But me and Cartoon Joe have done a lot on that page and that channel, and we'd like you guys to kind of watch and enjoy it, and make sure you subscribe so you see the future stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got for this evening. So as always, I am Travesty.
And I'm the Freak Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaky Show. I'm out.